Hey y'all, I'm JamesWright and welcome back to Wizards News. Today I want to talk about potions. What are they for? When is the best time to use them? Which ones should I collect? Which ones shouldn't I use? Let's actually dive in and take a look at this because there is a lot to go through on this. With potions, we're kind of touching the tip of the iceberg here because we see that there are 9 current potions available. But if you look in the code, there's another 6 at least that are written in there with pictures and information, and some things like that we'll be able to look at. So there are a lot more things that will be happening in the game. But as of right now, there are only 9. So if you're watching this in the future and there's others to come out, I'll probably have done another video updating this at some time. But for right now, we're going to be focusing on those 9s, but I'm also going to talk about the extra ones a little bit later. And then at the end of the video, I'm actually going to be talking about what items they all need and how to organize those a little bit. So first off, let's talk about the Big Daddy, Barufio's Brain Elixir. This one is what doubles your XP. So anytime you're in the game, you're walking around collecting foundables, you're in chambers, you have port keys, Barufio's Brain Elixir doubles your XP, so that makes it twice as fast to get to the next level. So this is a key potion, but this is also the potion that has the longest brewing time, has some of the hardest ingredients to come by. And so it's a very expensive potion, and if you're going to be buying it, it's very expensive gold-wise. It takes 12 hours to brew, and so without the master notes, but if you put the master notes in, it speeds it up a good bit. That being said, this is a costly potion, but it is a very valuable potion, and I usually say try and brew at least one of these every day, or every other day, as often as you can get the ingredients for it at least. And then just be judicious about when you use them. Usually what I'll do is before going into a fortress, I will pop one of these on and I will open up my port keys and then go into the fortress. If I'm going to be doing a session of grinding foundables, then I'm going to pop one of these on, open any port keys that I have, and then grind out foundables as fast as I possibly can, getting in as many as I possibly can while this is running. You only have a 30-minute window that this potion works for, so get all that you can all that you get, and sit on the lid. Next up, this is a potion that is somewhat overlooked, but it is one of my favorite, the Dawdle Draft. Some people are going to say Dawdle Draught, some people are going to say Dawdle Draft. I like to say Drolt is a little bit more English in me. And you're going to have a lot of arguments about pronunciation, but oh well. Today we're going to call it the Dawdle Draft. This potion will cut in half the chances of a foundable departing on you. So if you have a foundable you've come up against and you want to make sure you get it, you want to make sure that it doesn't disappear, put one of these on. Now that's not going to guarantee that it won't disappear, it just cuts it in half. Now with some of the high-end foundables that may vanish 50% of the time, this will still cut it in half and make sure that they only vanish 25% of the time. Still, it's not great odds, but that's far, far better than it was before. So this is a valuable potion to have. Now that being said, it does take a long time to brew. It takes 6 hours, and so usually I try and brew one of these every other day. I try and keep 2 or 3 of them on hand for when I come up against those foundables that I just never see, and you very few chances for it, and that way I can pop one of those on. Next up, we have the Estimulo Trio. We have the Estimulo Potion, the Strong Estimulo Potion, and the Potent Estimulo Potion. These 3 are probably the ones you're going to use more than any other. These are the common potions. And some people are saying you should only use the regular one, and some people are saying you should only use the potent one. And there's a lot of argument going back and forth. I use all 3 regularly because each one will affect the amount of chances to catch a foundable. Now, in an upcoming video, we're going to be talking about the clock, the actual color ring that a lot of people see. That is what determines how likely you are to return a foundable. What these do is they move the hands on that clock farther along, and that will make it easier to return a foundable. The stronger the potion is, the better the chance it will give you. And we're going to be going into this a lot in more detail when we actually talk about the clock and how that works out. So stay tuned for that. But basically, the stronger the potion is, the more it helps you return a foundable. Now, when you are in a fortress, this also makes your spells far more powerful. They are going to increase it dramatically. If I'm going up against a heavy foe, I'm always going to be putting on a Potent Estimulo because they really, really do a lot of work. So that being said, I do regularly brew all 3 of them. If I'm out working on foundables and I find a foundable that I really want, but it doesn't need that much more to knock it into a solid green, then I'm going to use the regular one. If it's a orange level foundable and it needs a decent amount to get knocked up, then I'm going to use the Strong Estimulo. If it is a really rare one and it needs a lot of force to bring it back into the green, then I'll use the potent one. And so I do brew all 3 of them. The simple one only takes 2 hours, the medium one takes 6 hours, and the big one takes 8 hours. So I usually brew 2 of the weak ones a day and then one of the others each day, depending upon how much time I get. Next up, we have the healing potion, and this is one that's pretty straightforward. It is a healing potion. It is a very quick one. It takes 3 hours to brew. It's over and done with. It only is used in the fortresses, so when you are hurt in the fortress and you need to heal up, you use this. It's a very straightforward potion, and it doesn't need a whole lot of explanation. Usually I don't brew these at all unless I'm planning on doing a fortress run where I want to do a bunch of them or want to do really high ones. Then I may spend an entire day just brewing healing potions and getting those up and going. Yes, they do take a lot of time when you pile them up, but they go pretty quickly as you can pop one out every 3 hours or a little bit less if you use the master notes. Next up, we have the invigoration drafts, and these come in 2 different forms. We have the regular one, and we have the strong one. And just like with the Stimulos, the strong one does more, the weaker one does less, but the weaker one is easier and the stronger one is stronger. Now, usually I only brew the stronger one. Now, theoretically, they're both going to do the same, but what these do is they give you more focus. So when you are in a fortress and you want to use your spells at the bottom, your hexes and charms, you need to use these to bump up your focus, especially right off the bat when you haven't attacked any foe to give you more focus. So generally, I'm just focusing on the strong one because I need a good chunk more. I have 10 possible focus, though I only have 2 to begin with. So using the strong one up front will fill that up quicker, and it means that I'm saving time in the fortress. Whereas if I brew 2 of the weaker ones, I'll be getting the same as 1 of the stronger one. They take about the same amount of time to brew, but it saves time in the fortress just using the strong one. So I don't brew any of the regular ones, I just brew the strong potion. Usually I don't brew any of these unless I'm planning on doing a fortress. Then I'm going to pop one of these in and make sure that I have usually 2 or 3 of those in stock. I usually only use them right at the beginning of the fortress, so 1 per massive battle. So that being said, these are the potions you're not going to need that much of, but every now and then you want to have 1 or 2 on hand. Speaking of a potion you're not going to use that much of, let's talk about the Wit Sharpening Potion. Now, this is one that really has a very, very specific use. This only works against elite foes. So the foes that have the yellow ring around them, those are the foes that are going to really, really irritate you when you're doing high-level chambers. And this is a key potion against them. It will knock them down by 50%, basically. So whenever I'm coming up against an elite foe, I put one of these in. They don't last that long, but they brew pretty quickly. And so because of that, I usually have 2 of them on hand. Again, this is a potion that I'm only going to be brewing if I'm planning on doing a fortress battle in the next coming days. So I usually only have 2 of these on hand because it's rare that you're going to come across more than 2 elite foes in a particular chamber. I don't think I've ever come across 3 elite foes in a chamber yet. Though I haven't done any of the really, really high chambers yet, I'm still only up to forest level 5. So when you are coming up against an elite, this is a potion you gotta have on. So have 1 or 2 of them in stock, but don't worry about getting that much. Once you have them, then just sit and don't worry about brewing anymore. Now, there are several other potions that are in the code that we've read about, but we have no idea what they do, and we don't know when they're going to be released, and this is going to be one of those interesting things. So I'm going to mention those here, but that being said, I don't know when they're going to come out, and I don't know what they are, so let the speculations begin, and go ahead and throw your theories down below. First up, we have the Bountiful Brew, and this is a pretty weak one at 2 hours and 30 minutes to brew. It's one of those things that I don't think it's going to be all that amazing, but we may be one of those things that you want to have a few on hand because they're just a regular common use thing. I don't know, we'll see. Next up is the Memory Potion, and this is another short brew one. Don't know what it's going to do at 2 hours and 15 minutes to brew. It could be interesting, or it could be just one of those things like, hey, yeah, you're just going to pump these out every so often and you'll be good. Next up, we have another potion that looks just like the Witch Sharpening Potion, but apparently it's a different potion. It is the Scintillation Potion. So I'm guessing this will be against another type of foe that will eventually be released in fortresses that we haven't seen yet. And this is a 2 hour and 50 minute brew time. So I don't know, this would be kind of interesting. Next up, there are 2 potions that look a lot like in the game. There is the Wide Eye Potion and the Draught of Protection. Both of them brew very quickly at just over 1 hour and at 50 minutes. So I don't know exactly what these will be, but they're kind of interesting. Then also we have seen the Polyjuice Potion. That sounds like a lot of fun. Now I haven't seen what the brew time on this is yet, but this could be very interesting because there are a lot of ways you could take that. This is the potion that allows you to look like someone else. And this is going to be fun. So let the theories begin. And then the most intriguing potion of them all. This one is, Very interesting. This is Felix Felicis. And if you know anything about the movies, this is the good luck potion. And I'm really looking forward to seeing this. Now, interestingly, in the code, it only has a 30-second brew time. What? In the books, it has a brew time that is exceedingly long and very tedious. So this could be interesting how they do it, whether or not it's a potion ingredient that is incredibly rare. I don't know. So yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how they do this one. Felix Felicis, this is going to be very interesting. Now, all of this being said, a lot of people then are asking about the potion ingredients. I'm hoping to do a video eventually about potion ingredients and what all they're for and how to organize them. But I want to give you one quick tool that will help you organize your vault, particularly with the potion ingredients. This is the Wizards Unite Potion Ingredients Manager. And this was put together here by the Swamp Thing Tom and was edited by Dr. Za. So, this is cool, and I was thinking about putting together something like this, but the math that went into it and all the organization process really kind of was daunting. And everyone keeps asking me, what should I keep? What should I get rid of? And in this, makes it very easy to know exactly what you should keep, exactly what you should get rid of, and how you should organize your vault for the way you do things. So let me show you how this works. First of all, you come up here to the ingredients vault capacity and you enter your current vault capacity because everyone's going to have something different. Some people are going to add to it. Some people are going to keep it normal. And this is one of the big reasons why I can't tell you this is what you should keep in your vault, because everyone has a different capacity and everyone has different things that they brew. So enter your vault capacity here. And then you want to come down here and you want to add in what potions do you want to brew. So let's do 1 Estimulo, 1 Strong Estimulo, 1 Potent Estimulo. Let's do 1 Brain Elixir. The Dwaddle Draft, let's do 2 of those. Then we can come down below and it's going to say you have a total of 41 ingredients needed. And currently in my vaults I have 268. I'll get to that in a moment. Then we can come down a little farther and it says right down here it's going to take a maximum of 38 hours and a minimum, if you do everything right with all the master notes, of 32 hours. In other words, 1.6 or 1.3 days. So you can actually keep an idea and organize what are you going to brew when and plan it out ahead of time. And the cool thing is it has all of the ingredients listed out here, so you can come through here and see that the frog brain, though you get thousands of them all over the place, you only need 1 of them for Barufio's Brain Elixir, and that's the only place so far where you're going to need frog brain. So down in this yellow bar, anywhere there's a yellow bar, you want to enter what you have on hand. So let's enter, we have 20 brains, and we have 7 butterscotch, and we have 16 leaping toadstools, and we can enter all of those, what we currently have on hand. And it will automatically fill in right below that with red, green, or yellow. Green means you keep it. You stay exactly where you are. You don't need any more. You don't need any less. Red means ditch them. So it's actually going to tell you how many to get rid of. It's going to say you need to get rid of 14. Yellow means you need to find more of these. So if you come across some bitterroot laying on the ground, pick up the bitterroot. But if you come across some dittany, don't pick up the dittany. You don't need any more. And then some of these are in bright green, like this one with the hermit crab shell and the powdered dragon claw. These are things that are very hard to get. Usually you can only get them in Portkeys. And so you want to hold on to those, and they're bright green here saying never delete. No matter how many of those you have, just hold on to them. Do not delete them because those are key ingredients that you have to have. And then you can come through here and delete everything in red. So I have 85 snowdrops. That means I should delete 74 of them. This will keep me in stock and let me know exactly what I want. Now, the best thing you can do is actually come over here and plan out like 4 or 5 days worth of brewing. How much do you want to brew in the next 4 or 5 days? And then plan it all out on this sheet, and it will tell you exactly what you should be keeping your vault at and what items you really need to be looking for and what items you shouldn't look at all. And after doing this for a couple weeks, your eyes will get very used to seeing them on the field and not even looking at them and not thinking about them. So this is a fantastic tool that I definitely say take a look at. I'll leave a link to it down below, and definitely dive into it. And whenever you are on Reddit, give a huge thank you to Swamp Thing Tom and Dr. Za. This is incredible. Great work, guys. So I have a couple other videos that I'm working on, and I'd love to hear your ideas about which video you would like me to do. Number one, I want to do an entire thing on vault organization. I want to do another one on the skill tree and actually go down through and how do you read a skill tree. Maybe not exactly how do you plan out, but what are the items in the skill tree and what is the best way of figuring out the best way for you. And then I've been doing a ton of research to try and find out, is it actually worth trying to cast a masterful spell cast, or are they all the same, or what is the percentage difference between them? There is a lot of data to be collected on it, but hopefully I'll have enough of that soon, so we'll be doing a video about that. As well as the clock. What do all the colors on that clock actually mean, and what does that mean for the averages of catching? So if that's information you want to see, let me know that down below, and we'll be putting those videos out here soon. So I hope you like this. If you did learn something new, please let me know. If there's something you think I missed or something I should talk about more, let me know that down below as well. If you did like the video, please hit like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring the bell. Those really help out the channel, and thank you for that. So I think that's about it for today. Until next time, have a magical day. I love you, my chocolate frog. Let me devour you now. What is your card inside? You have given me a Rowena Ravenclaw. Okay. I'll stick to videos and leave the singing to someone else.